Okay, let me pull things up. All right, we're here. Okay, let me testing. Okay, hello, Philippe. How are you doing? Uh, just lovely. So this will not actually do anything unless I. Okay, so hi, Tabby. Me Twitch is up. Let's see any big issues. Let's go. Just gonna. And let me see, make sure that I have the correct profile open. Actually, I want to. Get on the Discord. Okay, I'm just getting some stuff worked out. Hi, Tinguish. How you doing? I think I'm quite loud. Am I loud? I'm just grabbing something because I want to show you guys something. Where did he put this? Oh, I want to download that and have it ready. You doing okay? Yeah. That's the best we can do sometimes. Oh, okay. All right, let me. Whoa, my computer is lagging very badly. Okay. Where was this shared? It may have been in... Oh, analyzing verb patterns for the Lang Time Chat Challenge. That's cool. Okay. Can I search all of my subreddits? My Discord stuff? Okay. Maybe I'll just search the internet. There we go. I got it. So I wanted to show you guys something that Karasaryan developed. And we'll go take a look at that. So, well, you're working on a translator from English or German to kind of like a machine translation. So I use Lexifer as a word generator, right? This is what I use every single time I need to generate a new root. Karasaryan has improved it. Let me grab my Sylvan stuff. I can go, it's got the same functions as before. So I can go 10 words, 1 word per line. I can generate. But then I can copy. And presumably that means I can just paste. Ah! The sneak peek. Just paste it here, right? And then I can save the output. I guess okay, it just downloads it, right? And there's a button to open the output in Lexergy directly. And apparently I can give a Lexergy URL. So if I were to go to Middle Fay, and how do you get a URL that's specifically your Lexergy stuff? That's the question. I guess that's on the Lexergy side. But this already is getting me a step closer. Share? Okay, you have the share button. Okay. So let's see. If we have a Lexergy link in here and I go open output. Okay. It opens it with the Middle Fay sound changes loaded now. That's amazing. So this gets me a step closer to what I want, which is having all of the tools that I need for creating words integrated. Going straight from the word generator to the sound change applier means I don't have to take an extra step of copy pasting and everything, right? Now, if we could then export that to a lexicon manager, that would be another step. If also we could add in a step where I can automatically add inflections, that would be another one. But this is definitely a good start, especially if I'm just wanting to like test forms and take a look at, okay, p bop tubu dot which one of those would I like most, and then I can do my other things with it, right? Okay, I think we're not lagging too much. So thank you, Karis, for doing that for the community. And this is called Lexifer Plus. It's just on his GitHub. And I will paste that into chat right now. In fact, actually, I can see to my number one gripe with the YouTube Live interface is that chat it requires, can I edit things? It absolutely will not. Check out Restarians. There we go. Lexifer Plus is kind of a funny name for it because, like, Karis, it sounds like you're charging for this thing. But no, it's totally free. But I don't anticipate making words today because we're just going to be working on constant mutations. Now, I did not actually clean up this table entirely. You can see here, there's still a lot of junk here I need to clean up and make look nice. but you can see the general pattern. What happens is, here, I can do a little bit of cleanup work while I'm showing you this. So let's take, let's take a simple case like, bia or da, right? Da, okay, this is the typical, right? Lucifer Plus, the new streaming home of LTS Alham Thunderbirds. That would be if we could get that. That reminds me, today, while I was setting up the stream, YouTube popped up a little survey thing that says, you aren't using your monetization. You're not using ads on your streams. And unfortunately, it didn't have like an open-ended thing. But I will say what I would say if it was open-ended. Now, first of all, number one, there are 5 people watching me right now, literally. So turning on ads would give me like 1/100th of a penny. It's not really worth it. But even if it was bigger, the thing about the YouTube stream ads is they force you to have pre-rolls, and that means someone clicks into the stream and they are forced to watch an ad while my stream is live. So they are missing part of my stream to watch an ad before they can get in. Not everybody will be forced to watch an ad, but some people. And I'm like, and I don't like that. Twitch actually has a way to avoid that if you're a partner, by like making sure you schedule ad breaks. That would be okay for me. It's not really worth it, so I wouldn't really do it. But if I were bigger and it were worth it to me, that kind of model would work. But like, no, dude, I'm not gonna make people wait 5, 10, 15 seconds while I am actually talking on stream. What? What does D mean in C equals X? Where are you seeing that? Oh, are you talking about something you're not talking about? In Lexfer Plus? So D? I don't know. That's just an example file. You don't necessarily have to go with that. I think what example did Karis did he have? Is it just the same example that William put in? I don't even know. What's the Yeah, this is just the default to give you an example of how it works. And these labels are actually basically arbitrary. I just put D in there to give a category for these consonants, which from this, it looks like these are the only consonants that can be codas in this language, right? Yeah. You avoid ad streams for that reason, especially. Yeah, it's just dumb. It's just a dumb design. I don't like ads at all, but like, if I could make money from it and use it, I would not want to do pre-roll ads on a stream. Give me like the extra panel thing, or give me control to like put an ad break, which they do give you control to do a manual ad break, but you have to also accept pre-rolls in order to do that. So that's dumb. That's just annoying. It's worse than the like random way they place mid rolls, where often I'm watching a YouTuber and a YouTube video, and it cuts to a mid roll in the middle of a sentence. It's like, no, that's not fun. Anyway, Lexfer Plus, go check it out. This will, if you will excuse the like productivity language, this will simplify your conlanging workflow quite a bit. If you want to just like test out from some forums and just go straight into your Lexergy, that's good. Okay. Back to what I was talking about. So what we have here is like, for a simple example, da. So both a geminate da and regular da collapse to da, and then in the nasal that they mutation they collapse to na. But we get this split, right? This was intentional. This is the whole reason I allowed initial geminates, is so that I could get this situation where, oh, okay, this one lenites to za. This one is protected from lenition because it was historically a geminate. Right? So, and then you get some more complicated versions because like this ja has a bunch of different sources, right? Because both the G and the da, ja, all of them go there, and that leads to like 4 different possible, including one that's not lenited, right? 4 different possible lenition scenarios, right? One of my favorite things is like with B and P, because of the qua and gua becoming ba and pa, you get this weird situation where sometimes ba is lenited to wa. That's just cool to me. It's just like, okay, if you have a word with ba, it could stay ba, it could become va, or it could become wa. But the nasal mutation is always the same. And that's, the nasal mutation is unique to Dawn, by the way. So it's actually good that we're working with Dawn. But I don't really want to talk about this. I still need to continue like cleaning this up. But what I want to talk about is, what is the domain of initial mutations? Because whenever you have a sound change that can cross words, a Sunday change is what we call it, is a sound change or a phonological process that crosses word boundaries. You have to decide, where does that stop? And there's different things that can happen. Um, if you talk about, like, an example that is always on my mind is, so in Chinese, there's this famous example. If you have two third tones in a row in Mandarin Chinese, the first one will become a first tone, or a second tone. So this is, so, so, should I, yeah, so, how do you do the Lao? This is actually a proper name, so this is fine. So Lao Li, Lao Li. It's not Lao Li. It's, why am I not getting a cute accent? Lao. It goes to Lao Li, right? However, this is like a famous example that everybody works with. Lao Li Mai Hao Jiu. Two. Yeah. So anyway, so Lao Li Mai Hao Jiu. If I gloss that straight word for word, that is Lao Li, that's a proper name, buy good wine. The problem is this: there are two different solutions for this. You can have my Hao Jiu. Right. It can be my Hao Jiu or my Hao Jiu. And you think about, like, why are they different? These actually have different meanings. So this one typically will mean bought wine completely, right? It's like that's not a very, that's a kind of a translationese translation, but it's like they but it's like they completed the action of buying the wine. It's like it's not formally the perfective, but it's kind of a perfective-ish thing. Um oh, that's what is means. Oh yeah. Um whereas this one means bought good wine. And actually there's some overlap. Sometimes this is the realization of this, but this is sort of the main difference, right? What's the difference? Why is this like this? Well, this is a resultative compound. It's bracketed like this. my hao, jiu. So my hao jiu. My hao jiu. So this is a little bit more complicated than what I'm going to be working with, just because they in my case the rules cannot affect each other. In the case of Mandarin, this rule actually applies cyclically to higher and higher levels. And that's why you actually get both this and this, because what happens is this gets the tone change first, then this gets the tone change because you get a higher constituent. This one, that doesn't happen because hi, hello, good morning. You can say hi to my friends. You talk in the microphone, say hi.
Hey.
Okay, you go upstairs, find mommy. So anyway, this is maybe not the best lesson for this particular situation, because we're not going to have that cyclical thing, because like one thing getting mutations is not going to affect another. But the question I have here is, now the Celtic mutations, as far as I understand, and maybe I can like do a little bit looking, right? Initial consonant mutations in Irish, for example. I don't really know. So okay, so if we look at, so after proclitics, after definite articles, okay, after vocative particle, after possessive pronouns, after certain prepositions, okay? So this is like talking about like real specific things, but I think, okay, modifier plus head constructions. So the question I have is, what is the what is, I'm gonna switch out. Well, I what is the domain where our rule applies? And I want to see if I could find the actual hierarchy. Thank you to whoever like sent me this, because I remember having this book. Are there pieces missing to this? Oh, okay. If I can find the hierarchy. Yeah, I thought it was not loading properly, but there's just like blank pages. Can I please, does somebody actually have? There has to be a graphic of this somewhere. Okay, there we go. This is all I really need. So, This is an old theory, and I have issues with some bits of it. But this is the prosodic hierarchy from Nesper and Vogel. This is old theory, 1986, and there are alternative versions, but this gets us an idea of what things. So, um, and we don't need to go over all of these terms. You guys know what a syllable is, so that's like the smallest domain that a phonological rule can apply to. A foot, phonological word. Now, a phonological word is different from a morphological word, and that is a can of worms. But basically, you'd say that languages. Yeah, I need to get the actual book somehow so that I can like actually like find all of the things. But I've got the things. Um, Phonological word. Basically, just to say, like, we have a morphological word, a phonological word, like every language defines a a certain unit to be like a phonological word. Like um in Mandarin, the phonological word is like 2 syllables, which is why it actually kind of affects morphology and you get tons of 2 syllable compounds. English, I think, is more complicated. I think English is like 2 feet or something like that. Um, the clitic group is the level I'm a little bit iffy on. In more modern work, Vogel has called this the composite group because, like, um, certain kinds of compounds seem to like end up in this, but it's like a step above. It feels like it's kind of a catch-all category just to get a bunch of things because it doesn't branch the same way as other things. But that's I don't want to get into theory discussions. Phonological phrase. So a phonological phrase is what you do is, and I did get this check the book on this to get it. But what happens is like you chunk out the sentence and it's based on the syntax. However, like you don't take an entire constituent. If the constituent is like recursive, then you just go until you hit the next head, right? Um, uh, uh, like if you have like uh I to at the shore with the man, right? Um, from the sea. Okay. In syntax, that you bracket this as a whole recursive structure, right? The this contains everything. Phonology looks at that structure and says, okay, well, I'm going to chunk out these things and it's going to be at the shore with the man from the sea. And there is actual evidence for like this kind of chunking going on. And I think this is where I'm going to put the domain of this thing. That seems to be what's happening when I read. I have not looked up research on Celtic mutations. I think that there is one thing to be a little bit um, mindful of, in that, from what I understand, and if somebody who knows more about Celtic than me can talk about this, that this is not entirely phonological in Celtic languages. Sometimes, um, sometimes you get the mutation at a distance because it has become like syntactically conditioned rather than just phonologically. If somebody can confirm that for me, I have seen that somewhere, I think. Um, Now, a big difference here is I've just shown you we do not have a straightforward system where this goes to this is this, because we have some situations where one thing can do two different things, right? Um, well, actually, okay, so Irish, depending on broad and slender variants, you get something different. Seems like. What is going on with this? Why is this? Okay, I'm actually kind of confused as to what is being shown here. Yeah. So the mutations are grammaticalized. Yeah. So I think definitely at the start we're going to confine it to like phonological phrase, and then we can decide whether we want to like say, okay, this has become grammaticalized or not. This is kind of like these mutations occurred between Middle Fey and like Dawn and Dusk. The Lenition mutation is pretty early though. Um, so that could have become grammaticalized in the meantime. For now, let's go take a look and let's get some examples going of like what kinds of things can happen. Um, we need to have our determiners, which I have not moved over to here yet, but we can have them for examples. So word, I want my Silva notes. Determiners. So this is actually not right, is it? I need to double check. I'm gonna get an obsidian and see if I have this. Uh, we're gonna look in Dawn. I believe. Ja. Yeah, okay, we have the definite article. Okay, so chapeau. Chapeau triggers lenition mutation. There we go. So and then this locative one. This is not locative. This is accusative, isn't it? Yeah. So this actually became the accusative. So this let's change this. The nominative and the accusative. So actually, let's. This is actually interesting, and this might be relevant. So let's grab a word that will have some lenition happen. I'm just going to Paul. Let's go with Paul. And so we're going to start with just articles. When we well, do we have to do? I guess it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this and we're going to actually go and load up the dawn sound changes. Wow, okay, that's not what I want to do. And you know what? Let's go also and get the get this. Um, get all of these. So we go with this. Oh, actually, this is how it's going to work. Why are we getting errors? What? Are you trying to syllabify the space? No, you never did that before. Sir. Oh, did I mess up something? That's a tone marker. There shouldn't be any tone markers. Hold on. Why are there tone markers? Oh, it's from day. Oh, that's not gonna work. I need something that's natively. Okay, this will work. No, that's I'm not gonna use that because this is weird. Yeah, that's weird. That's not gonna be ideal. There we go. Let's go with this. No, that's a loan too. Gosh. I've made so many loans. Made too many loan words. There we go. No, that's not, I can't do that. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go with molar. If give me a minute. Okay. I'm gonna move this to another screen. Okay. So here we've got our example. So and let me put this let me put the proper Are you girls are you guys hearing that? I almost call my chat girls. Some of you are girls, not everybody. Okay. All right. So stands for opterigid. I'm just gonna say ichi. So all of these mean the ichi, right? This is a little bit, yeah. Somebody's being a bit demanding upstairs. So sa jije, right? Sapu jipo bi ji this should be jihihu. And bi jipuhu. Let me make sure that I get that fixed. Why was it? Okay. Yeah. Jipuhu. So G, this is G regular, but this becomes this is kind of a weird one because we get the retroflex G, G, Jipo, Jihihu, Jipu, Jipuhu. But you get the idea of what it looks like. now let's if we go to here, if we get this Sylvan notes. So okay, we can have so the demonstrative, we only have one demonstrative. And we have singular and plural demonstrative. Let me, do we have, and I have not added those to the dictionary yet. So let me go and make sure that I get these properly added. And wishi and wishi. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this. So all right. Also, I want to know, like, did I? Oh, let's go to the Elder Fae. And then plural is wishy-hoo. 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 And so we can take that and we can and it doesn't really matter, but I'll for completeness. So with the distro demonstrative, with the just the demonstrative, it doesn't matter. All of them, it always changes, right? Now this is going to be, now I will say, this particular situation, you already see a little, a sort of an issue of, okay, this ends in a vowel, but it doesn't trigger the lenition, right? That is interesting. Now, I don't have a little lot of adjectives, do I? Need to see. I think I use stative verbs. So we have so what we have we would want the class 3, which does not have, okay, SHA. Oh, both of these are going to have the, why is it showing up? Oh, it's dawn and dusk. Okay. It's not going to matter for this because it's class. Now, this one, these indefinites are going to matter. It's going to matter what the actual class is, right? So let's, Da, ja, jije. So, and then a little bit. So, okay, I think going through the laundry list of what can trigger things is not that helpful. Um, so let's think a little bit more carefully about this. So we want determiners generally to be able to do this. Then we have how did Middle Fay handle so we have adjectives. Adjectives follow the noun and they have agreement. So we have no, I don't have word for tree. No, I don't have a word for tree anymore yet. I'm realizing that the grammaticalization here is going to be kind of moot because like adjectives can't become between a determiner and a noun, right? So it's not like we could have it grammaticalize as adjective agreement. I think some grammaticalization is in order because the phonological environment has been lost. So I'm going to grab, I guess old is what I'm going to do. Not, that's not, What is this ngeta? Where's that coming from? That's not old, is it? That's not the word for old, though. So we have kshp. It's missing pshk, which does not exist in Dawn and Dusk. Here. Let's make a new adjective. Unless, I think this should work actually. So, missing. And then we would have, this is the, actually I need to fix this. This is not, this is not how I do verbs anymore. So what we want to see is, these don't matter. Those don't occur attributively. And then that's right. Okay, so what I need is something that's class. So I want something from each class, right? Oh, let's go. Okay, let's go. Sure, why not? we can do that. And Okay. So it's a little bit wonky because of like the weird way this particular adjective works. Bisha. Ooh. So missing mountain, missing. This particular verb collapses here. And I'm not sure if I like that. Not a great test verb because of that. I'm going to have to create a verb that has a more straightforward paradigm. Huh? I'm going to have to create a verb that has a more straightforward paradigm and a noun that can be in of the all of the maybe a couple of nouns actually that can be in every single what am I saying? Every single class. That's something we can work out later, but we only have 10 minutes. So this is the basics I'm thinking of right now. After some exploration, I'm thinking, okay, this applies to attributive adjectives in terms of where nouns go. The all the determiners are going to trigger. Nouns will trigger mutation on attributive adjectives. The thing that we didn't get to, so okay. Then we're going to say then we're going to my question is following what? Why am I blanking? Okay, auxiliaries. What auxiliaries would actually even trigger that? So this is just a verb. This is just a verb. This is just a verb. This is an auxiliary. Do I not have all my auxiliaries? I need to get all my auxiliaries put in the dictionary. I need to fix the verb charts because the verbs, so my main verbs are no longer going to encode any tense or aspect information. They're just purely going to have agreement. In fact, it's like they've devolved into like a participle kind of thing. Or it's sort of like they're almost like infinitives. Yeah. I think I have a few things to work out that are going to take longer than the 5 minutes we have. But I think we've made some progress, at least thinking about how this stuff happens, right? And I have some more cleanup work to do here. Like this, this all ended up the same, right? And also cleanup work on the dusk as well. But we'll be working on it. But thank you all for watching. I'm gonna cut off the stream here because I think I need to think a little bit more about things. And then I'm gonna say happy conlanging.